feel very strongly about Teddy Bridgewater, everything that you've seen on the tape. I actually had the opportunity to see him play live 3 times. Game that really stuck out to me was the Rutgers game 2 years ago when he came in with an ankle and a broken wrist and brought them back to win that game up in Rutgers. And then got a chance to play or see him play live against Central Florida this year. So every time I had exposure to him, and when you watch the tape and with Zim and Coach Turner and Scott Turner, he just seems to have that knack of when he's in pressure situations in the game, being able to come through it. You know, we did a very analytical study on all these quarterbacks. One of the things that really stuck out to us, of all the quarterbacks, he was the best against the blitz. So he's very cool and calm under pressure. He has mobility in the pocket to make plays. I think you've seen that in that bowl game this past year. You saw what he did in the previous bowl game down in the Sugar Bowl, I believe it was, versus Florida. You know, he went to his pro day, and everybody was criticizing the pro day, and I'm sitting there with Coach Zimmer and Norv, and then talking about, well, if he just does this or just does that. We actually didn't feel, we felt very strongly about meeting him the next day, going through all the board work and everything. But we felt we had to go back one more time. So we went back down and actually had a private workout with him in Florida. And totally different. And then to see him respond to the way Norv and Scott were coaching him during that workout was remarkable. So that said, this guy is what we saw on tape. We brought him up here on the top 30. Just had to check out one more time, and I just wanted to make sure he got in front of Coach Zimmer to make sure Coach Zimmer was comfortable with him. The other thing that we felt was very, very important was, you know, debating whether you sit and wait or do you go ahead and get a guy up there on your board who you really liked at that position, and felt just going to make that move up at 32nd was very important. The other thing that comes into play is that 5th-year option, because now, okay, you got a quarterback in the first, okay, you're going to have the opportunity to have that 5th-year option, which is a key part of it as well. And that was also part of the discussion about moving up. So it was a great day for the Minnesota Vikings. I think we really upgraded ourselves, and really looking forward till tomorrow.
For you, what was the difference between that private workout and the pro day?
The private workout was where, you know, we went down there and we showed up, and when we showed up, Teddy had all the receivers there, everything was lined up, and then Norv started coaching him. And some of the flaws you may have seen during the original pro day, as soon as he got coached, those things were getting corrected and get corrected quickly. And you can see the improvement just off our private workout we had with him. You know, his mother is a very unique individual too, and we spent a lot of time socially with them, went out to dinner with them and his agent. It was funny, you know, his mother is a breast cancer survivor. She works directly with kids whose mothers have breast cancer. We were down at the pro day, and at the second one that we went and worked him out, and I asked him, is your mom coming over to watch? And she said, no, it's more important. One of the kids that she was working with, whose mother had breast cancer, had passed away, and she thought it was more important to go to that funeral. I remember sitting at dinner and talking to his mother, who's worked for the transportation department for the school system down in Miami, and she's been there 26 years. And I asked her, I said, boy, your son's going to get drafted here and you get a chance to retire. And she said, I'm not retired. I want to get my 30 years in. That's what I said I was going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So those type of things, and Teddy is just like that. Those things are just so unique on how he was brought up and what a great job his mother has done.
Were you surprised, given how some people consider him as the #1 potential prospect coming into the season, far you end up falling?
You know, that's what's so great about this draft. And, you know, coming out of the season before all the pro day, it's amazing how sometimes that can influence things. It could influence things from a media standpoint. But you always have to go back to, that's why you're out there on the road. That's why you're watching these players play live. That's why you're watching these players on tape. You have to always go back and rely on what you see and trust your judgment on that.
Last two for Rick, and then Coach Zimmer will come up.
When was the private workout in Florida? Were you going to do that regardless of what happened at his pro day?
Yeah, we were going to do that regardless, just because we had interest in him. And that was, I would say, in April. I just can't remember the exact date.
12th, Saturday the 12th.
I can't remember. Jeez, Chris. I'm trying to remember. We were at a lot of places this spring, but I know it was in April.
Last
You
one.
mentioned